Good evening, beautiful souls. Tonight I want to talk about a woman who walks alone without a husband. This woman is not defined by what she lacks or by societal expectations. She is a woman of strength, independence, and profound self-love. In this journey of life, each of us has the power to walk our path, regardless of the roles others may try to impose upon us. Let us explore how the woman who walks alone can not only thrive, but also embrace her inner power. A woman who walks alone is not defined by her relationship status or the absence of a partner. She is not incomplete, nor is she lacking something that needs to be filled. In fact, her wholeness comes from within. And it is this inner completeness that gives her the strength to walk her path with confidence and grace. The notion of wholeness is deeply rooted in the understanding that a woman is already everything she needs to be. She is not a puzzle missing a piece. She is a beautiful and intricate whole, already abundant in her being. For many women, societal pressures and expectations can create a sense of inadequacy. The belief that a woman needs a husband or partner to be fulfilled is deeply ingrained in culture, yet this belief can be limiting and constraining. The truth is, a woman's worth is never tied to her relationship status. She is valuable simply because she exists, because she brings her unique light into the world, and because of the love and care she shows herself and others. A woman who walks alone understands this truth deeply. She knows that she is whole, and that her fulfillment does not depend on external circumstances. She chooses to embrace her full self, her strengths and vulnerabilities, her joys and sorrows, her dreams and fears. She learns to be content with her own company, and in doing so, she discovers a deeper connection with herself. Embracing wholeness means letting go of the belief that one needs to seek validation from others. This woman knows that no external approval can validate her worth. She does not need someone else's affirmation to feel good about who she is. She trusts in her own inner knowing and listens to her heart. She understands that the greatest source of validation comes from within. When she looks in the mirror, she sees not only the reflection of her face, but the reflection of her spirit, her essence, and her individuality. She embraces her uniqueness, knowing that she is perfectly imperfect, just as she is. In embracing wholeness, a woman learns to be her own source of love and support. She is not waiting for someone else to provide her with the love she craves, because she understands that love is already within her. She nurtures herself with compassion and care, speaking to herself kindly, offering herself grace, and forgiving herself when necessary. She acknowledges her mistakes, but she does not let them define her. She sees them as opportunities for growth, knowing that each experience, whether good or bad, contributes to the person she is becoming. She loves herself enough to prioritize her well-being and to create the space she needs to heal, grow, and thrive. This woman's journey toward wholeness is not a destination, but an ongoing process. It is a daily practice of self-acceptance and self-love. She does not judge herself based on the roles she is expected to play in life, but instead, she defines herself on her own terms. She chooses to release the pressure of living up to others' expectations and to embrace the freedom that comes with self-determination. Her worth is not contingent upon meeting societal norms or fulfilling a prescribed role. She is worthy simply by virtue of being. Each day, she makes the conscious decision to embrace who she is in all her complexity and to celebrate the life she is creating for herself. Wholeness is also about accepting all aspects of herself, the light and the shadow. A woman who walks alone is not afraid to face her fears, her insecurities, or her wounds. She knows that true healing comes not from hiding these parts of herself, but from acknowledging them, understanding them, and integrating them into her being. She does not shy away from her vulnerability, for she recognizes that it is in vulnerability that true strength is found. She is willing to explore the depths of her heart, to unearth the places where she may have been hurt, and to release the pain that no longer serves her. In doing so, she creates space for new positive energy to flow into her life. Wholeness also involves embracing the present moment, finding peace and contentment in the here and now. A woman who walks alone is not waiting for someone or something to change her circumstances. She is not waiting for the perfect relationship, the perfect job, or the perfect life. Instead, she makes peace with where she is and chooses to find joy in the present. She recognizes that happiness is not a future goal, but a state of being that she can cultivate in the present moment. She finds beauty in the small things, in the everyday moments that are easy to overlook, whether it's a walk in nature, a cup of tea, or a quiet moment of reflection. Ultimately, embracing wholeness is about understanding that a woman is complete and powerful, regardless of her relationship status. Her sense of worth, joy, and fulfillment comes from within, not from the presence or absence of a partner. She walks alone, but she is never alone because she carries her wholeness with her wherever she goes. She is enough just as she is. She is already the woman she was meant to be. And in embracing this truth, she opens herself to a life filled with love, abundance, and limitless possibilities. Self-love is not merely a concept, but a foundational pillar that shapes the way we experience the world and interact with ourselves. For a woman who walks alone, self-love becomes the essential bedrock upon which everything else is built. It is through cultivating a deep sense of love for herself that she learns to navigate life's challenges, honor her needs, and create a life that feels aligned with her heart's desires. Self-love is the key to unlocking her inner power, resilience, and capacity for growth. To begin with, self-love means understanding and embracing the importance of putting oneself first. This doesn't imply selfishness or neglecting others, but rather recognizing that one must nurture their own well-being before they can fully give to others. It is about creating space to care for oneself emotionally, mentally, and physically. For the woman who walks alone, this means not waiting for someone else to meet her needs, but instead taking the initiative to prioritize her own health, happiness, and peace of mind. She recognizes that her own happiness is her responsibility, and no one else can give it to her. She has the power to create a life that feels fulfilling, joyful, and meaningful, and it starts with how she treats herself. At the core of self-love is the practice of self-acceptance. The woman who walks alone understands that she does not have to be perfect to be worthy of love. She accepts herself, flaws and all, knowing that her imperfections are part of what makes her beautifully human. She does not measure her worth against unrealistic standards or compare herself to others. Instead, she looks in the mirror and sees a person deserving of compassion, respect, and understanding. She understands that her value is not determined by her appearance, achievements, or what others think of her. She is valuable simply because she exists. Self-love also requires a woman to set healthy boundaries. In her journey of self-love, she learns the importance of saying no when necessary and creating space to protect her energy. She understands that it is essential to set limits on how much she gives to others, especially when it comes at the cost of her own well-being. She is not afraid to stand firm in her boundaries and prioritize her needs, even if it means disappointing someone else. The woman who walks alone knows that she cannot pour from an empty cup, and by setting boundaries, she ensures that she has the energy and resources to care for herself and maintain her emotional balance. Self-love also involves practicing forgiveness both for herself and for others. The woman who walks alone knows that holding on to past mistakes, regrets, or grudges only weighs her down. She chooses to release the negativity that no longer serves her, allowing herself to move forward with a light heart. She recognizes that forgiveness is not about condoning or excusing harmful actions, but about freeing herself from the burden of resentment. Forgiveness is an act of self-care, allowing her to reclaim her peace and emotional freedom. Central to self-love is the ability to practice kindness to oneself. The woman who walks alone speaks to herself with love and compassion. When she faces challenges, she does not criticize or berate herself. Instead, she offers herself encouragement and patience. She acknowledges that she is doing her best, and she honors her efforts, even if the outcomes are not what she expected. She recognizes that growth takes time, and that it is okay to make mistakes along the way. Each misstep is an opportunity to learn, and each lesson is a part of her journey toward becoming the person she is meant to be. Furthermore, self-love is about honoring one's emotions and feelings. The woman who walks alone understands that it is okay to feel a wide range of emotions, from joy to sadness, from excitement to fear. She does not suppress or invalidate her emotions. Instead, she allows herself to fully experience them, understanding that emotions are signals that provide valuable insight into her inner world. By acknowledging and processing her feelings, she creates space for healing and growth. She does not shy away from discomfort, but faces it with courage, knowing that her emotions are temporary and that she is capable of moving through them. In practicing self-love, the woman who walks alone also learns to trust herself. She develops confidence in her decisions and intuitions, knowing that she is capable of navigating life's uncertainties. She trusts that she has the wisdom within her to make choices that are in alignment with her true self. She listens to her inner voice, honoring her instincts and desires, and she is not afraid to take risks that align with her values and dreams. Through this trust in herself, she creates a sense of security and stability that does not depend on anyone else's validation. Ultimately, self-love as a foundation is the key to creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. The woman who walks alone knows that her happiness and peace of mind are not dependent on external circumstances. She does not seek to fill an empty space within her with a relationship or the approval of others. Instead, she fills her own cup with love, kindness, and care. In doing so, she becomes a beacon of light, not only for herself, but for others as well. By loving herself fully and unconditionally, she opens the door to deeper connections, greater fulfillment, and a life lived with purpose and joy. Self-love is the foundation from which all things grow, and it is the gift that every woman has the power to give herself. Freedom and independence are two powerful forces that shape the lives of women who walk alone without a partner to define their path. These qualities are not merely ideals to strive for, they are lived experiences that empower women to take control of their lives and make choices that reflect their true desires. For the woman who walks alone, freedom and independence are the cornerstones of her journey, enabling her to define her own narrative, live authentically, and embrace life on her own terms. Freedom in this context is the ability to make choices without the constraints of societal expectations or external pressure. A woman who walks alone is free from the need to conform to traditional roles or to fulfill an image of what a woman should be. She is liberated from the idea that her worth is tied to her relationship status or the approval of others. She walks freely in the world, knowing that her value is not dependent on the validation of a partner or society. She is free to express herself, to pursue her dreams, and to create a life that reflects her own values and desires. In embracing freedom, this woman sheds the limitations imposed by outdated beliefs or cultural norms. She realizes that she is not bound by expectations of marriage, motherhood, or any other prescribed role. Instead, she is free to choose her path, knowing that it is valid no matter how unconventional it may seem to others. She chooses to honor her own journey and to walk it with pride, even when others may question her decisions. Her freedom allows her to break free from any constraints, whether they be emotional, societal, or familial, and to live her life in a way that is uniquely her own. Independence, on the other hand, is the ability to stand on one's own, to trust oneself, and to rely on one's own strength and resources. A woman who walks alone understands that independence does not mean isolation or doing everything by herself. It means that she has the inner strength to face challenges, make decisions, and create opportunities without depending on someone else to provide her with the answers. Independence is about self-reliance, having the confidence to trust her own abilities and instincts. It is about knowing that she is fully capable of navigating life's ups and downs without needing another person to complete her or to hold her hand through every challenge. The beauty of independence lies in its empowerment. A woman who walks alone is not limited by anyone else's opinions or needs. She creates her own opportunities, builds her own career, and establishes her own goals. She is her own advocate and champion, always looking out for her best interests. She does not wait for permission to pursue her dreams. She does not seek approval from anyone to make bold choices, whether they relate to her career, her lifestyle, or her passions. Her independence is a reflection of her belief in her own worth and capabilities. Independence also means that this woman takes responsibility for her own happiness and well-being. She understands that no one else can create her joy or fulfillment. She must cultivate it from within. She is not waiting for a partner or a specific life event to bring her satisfaction. She knows that happiness is a choice, and she actively chooses to nurture it, regardless of her circumstances. Whether through creative pursuits, travel, learning, or simply taking time for self-care, she chooses to fill her life with experiences that bring her joy, not because she is waiting for someone else to do it for her, but because she has the power to make it happen. In embracing freedom and independence, a woman who walks alone is also unafraid of solitude. She understands that being alone does not mean being lonely. In fact, solitude becomes a source of strength and clarity. It is in moments of solitude that she connects most deeply with herself, allowing her to reflect, recharge, and realign with her purpose. She relishes the space she has created for herself, knowing that it is essential for her personal growth and well-being. Independence does not mean withdrawing from relationships, but rather being in relationships from a place of strength and autonomy. She values the connection she has with others, but her sense of self is not dependent on anyone else's presence or approval. Freedom and independence also mean that this woman can create the life she wants without limitations. She is not bound by what others expect her to do or achieve. She has the power to redefine success on her own terms. She can take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them without fear of judgment. Her journey is hers alone to navigate, and the paths she chooses may be winding or unconventional. But that is the beauty of freedom. She is not bound by a prescribed route. She can carve out her own path, knowing that it is valid because it is hers. Ultimately, the freedom and independence that a woman who walks alone embraces are not just about living without a partner, but about living with purpose, authenticity, and self-determination. She has the ability to shape her world, to choose her own direction, and to live a life that is truly hers. Through her independence, she teaches herself and others that happiness and fulfillment come not from dependence on others, but from the inner strength, clarity, and love that reside within. Her freedom is not just physical, but emotional and spiritual, allowing her to experience the full range of life's possibilities with a sense of empowerment and confidence. In walking alone, this woman discovers that her freedom and independence are not something to be feared or avoided, but are powerful forces that enable her to live a life that is rich with meaning, authenticity, and personal fulfillment. Embodying strength and courage is not always about physical power or bravado. It is about having the resilience and bravery to face life's challenges with an unwavering belief in oneself, especially in moments of uncertainty. A woman who walks alone embodies this strength and courage by navigating her path with confidence, even when the world around her may be filled with doubt or obstacles. It is in her ability to rise above difficulties, to stand firm in her truth, and to move forward with grace and determination that her true power is revealed. At the heart of strength is the ability to endure and persevere. A woman who walks alone is no stranger to adversity. She understands that life is full of ups and downs, and yet she remains unshaken in her commitment to herself and her journey. This strength comes not from avoiding challenges, but from meeting them head-on, knowing that each one is an opportunity for growth and learning. Whether it's facing personal loss, career setbacks, or emotional struggles, she draws on her inner well of resilience. She refuses to let life's difficulties define her. Instead, she uses them as stepping stones toward becoming a more empowered and self-assured version of herself. Courage in her life is often about taking risks in the face of fear. The woman who walks alone is not fearless. She experiences fear like anyone else, but she is courageous enough to move through it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. Whether it's making a difficult decision, stepping into an unfamiliar situation, or facing the unknown, she approaches each moment with bravery, trusting that she has the strength to handle whatever comes her way. She knows that the fear she feels is a natural part of being human, but it does not control her. She acknowledges it, feels it, and then continues forward, stepping into the uncertainty with faith in her ability to navigate it. Part of embodying strength and courage is understanding that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a source of power. The woman who walks alone knows that true strength is found in embracing her vulnerabilities, not hiding from them. She allows herself to be open, to feel deeply, and to experience the full range of human emotion. She knows that it is in these moments of vulnerability that her courage shines brightest. Whether she is grieving, healing from past wounds, or simply facing an uncertain future, she allows herself to be present with her feelings and to process them without shame or fear. She understands that it is through embracing her vulnerabilities that she connects most deeply with herself and others, and that this openness allows her to grow stronger and more resilient. Another key aspect of strength is emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotions in a healthy way. The woman who walks alone practices emotional resilience by acknowledging her feelings and responding to them with compassion and wisdom. She does not suppress or ignore her emotions. Instead, she processes them in a way that allows her to move forward without being overwhelmed by them. When she faces disappointment, frustration, or sadness, she does not let these emotions dictate her actions or undermine her sense of self-worth. Instead, she takes the time to reflect, to heal, and to regain her emotional balance. This emotional maturity is what enables her to face life's challenges with grace and to maintain a sense of calm and clarity, even in the midst of turbulence. Strength and courage also manifest in the way she advocates for herself. A woman who walks alone does not shy away from standing up for her needs and desires. She understands that it is not only acceptable but essential to express her boundaries, ask for what she wants, and protect her well-being. She is not afraid to say no when necessary, even if it means disappointing others. She knows that by honoring her own needs, she is showing the world how to treat her with respect. She does not allow others to take advantage of her or diminish her worth. Her courage lies in the unwavering belief that she deserves to be treated with dignity and kindness, and she does not settle for less. Moreover, the woman who walks alone is deeply connected to her inner strength, often through practices like meditation, reflection, and mindfulness. These practices help her cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, which strengthens her ability to face challenges. By regularly checking in with herself, she maintains an understanding of her values, her goals, and her vision for her life. This inner connection gives her the courage to make decisions that align with her true self, regardless of external pressure or opinions. It is this deep inner knowing that provides the foundation for her strength, enabling her to face each day with confidence. Ultimately, embodying strength and courage is not about pretending to be invincible or always having the answers. It is about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, the highs and lows, the triumphs and setbacks, and choosing to keep moving forward regardless. A woman who walks alone knows that strength is not just about surviving, but about thriving, even when things aren't perfect. She is not defined by her circumstances, but by her ability to rise above them. Her courage lies in her willingness to face life's uncertainties with an open heart, trusting that she has the resilience and inner wisdom to navigate whatever comes her way. In embodying strength and courage, this woman teaches the world that true power comes from within. It is not found in external circumstances or in the approval of others, but in the quiet knowing that she is capable, strong, and worthy of everything life has to offer. She does not fear the unknown. Instead, she embraces it, knowing that each new challenge is an opportunity for growth, learning, and self-discovery. Her strength and courage are a beacon for others, showing that no matter what, one can always rise, stand tall, and walk forward with confidence. Nurturing connections is one of the most powerful ways a woman who walks alone creates a life of fulfillment and richness. While walking alone may involve periods of solitude, it does not equate to isolation. In fact, it is the quality of the connection she fosters with others that allows her to feel truly supported, understood, and loved. Nurturing connections is about cultivating relationships that nourish your soul, whether they are friendships, family bonds, or romantic relationships. These connections are built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and understanding, and they play a vital role in her emotional and mental well-being. A woman who walks alone recognizes that nurturing connections requires effort and intention. She does not wait passively for meaningful relationships to appear. She actively cultivates them. She reaches out to those she values, makes time for the people who matter, and invests in the relationships that bring her joy and fulfillment. She understands that connection is not just about quantity, but quality. It is not the number of people in her life that matters, but the depth of the bond she shares with them. She invests in relationships that are based on shared values, mutual respect, and genuine care. One of the cornerstones of nurturing meaningful connections is communication. A woman who walks alone is an excellent listener, deeply attuned to the needs and feelings of others. She listens not just with her ears, but with her heart, seeking to understand the perspective of those around her. She makes others feel heard and validated, which helps build trust and intimacy. Whether it's offering a word of encouragement, sharing a heartfelt conversation, or simply being present, she knows that communication is a two-way street that fosters connection. She also understands the importance of honesty and openness in her interactions. She is willing to share her true self with others, knowing that vulnerability is a key part of creating deep, authentic relationships. At the same time, she also respects the boundaries of others and herself. Nurturing connections is not about overextending herself or becoming too enmeshed in the lives of those around her. She knows that healthy relationships are built on mutual respect for personal space and individuality. She encourages others to pursue their own passions and interests while supporting them in their growth. She also understands when to say no and prioritize her own needs, recognizing that self-care is an essential part of maintaining healthy and balanced relationships. In this way, nurturing connections does not mean sacrificing herself or her well-being. It means creating an environment of love and respect where both individuals can thrive. A woman who walks alone understands the importance of compassion and empathy in building strong connections. She nurtures relationships by showing up with kindness, understanding, and a willingness to support others through both their joys and struggles. Whether it's comforting a friend during difficult times or celebrating their successes, she is there for the people she cares about. Her empathy extends beyond surface-level interactions as she seeks to understand the deeper emotions and needs of others. She recognizes that everyone has their own challenges and that sometimes just being present and offering a listening ear is the most powerful way to nurture a connection. She also understands that relationships are dynamic and require ongoing effort. To nurture connections, she consistently checks in with those she values. She makes an effort to maintain regular contact, whether through phone calls, text messages, or face-to-face conversations. She finds ways to celebrate the people in her life, acknowledging their milestones and accomplishments with sincerity and love. She also recognizes the importance of showing appreciation for the people who support her. She does not take these relationships for granted, but actively expresses her gratitude, knowing that appreciation is the fuel that keeps connections strong. At times, nurturing connections also requires forgiveness. A woman who walks alone knows that relationships are not perfect and misunderstandings or hurt feelings can arise. However, she understands that holding on to resentment only damages the connection. She is willing to practice forgiveness both for herself and others, recognizing that healing is a necessary part of nurturing relationships. She chooses to release any negativity that may cloud her connection with others, knowing that forgiveness is an act of self-liberation. In doing so, she creates space for greater love, understanding, and mutual respect to flourish. In addition to nurturing her relationships with others, a woman who walks alone also nurtures her connection with herself. She understands that the depth of her connections with others is directly related to the depth of her connection with herself. She regularly takes time for introspection, self-care, and self-love. She engages in activities that nourish her soul, whether it's through creative expression, nature walks, or meditation. By nurturing her own well-being, she is better able to show up as her best self in her relationships, offering love and support with a full heart. She knows that she cannot give from an empty cup, and that self-nurturing is an essential part of maintaining healthy, thriving connections with others. Furthermore, nurturing connections is about finding community, even when walking alone. A woman who walks alone seeks out like-minded individuals who share her values and passions. She understands the importance of surrounding herself with people who lift her up and support her in her personal growth. Whether it's through joining a group, attending events, or participating in activities that align with her interests, she actively seeks out opportunities to build a sense of belonging. She recognizes that community provides strength, encouragement, and a sense of purpose. In cultivating these connections, she ensures that she never truly walks alone. Ultimately, nurturing connections is a continuous practice of love, effort, and intention. A woman who walks alone knows that relationships are not something that just happen. They are something that requires care, time, and attention. By investing in meaningful connections with others and with herself, she creates a life rich with support, love, and fulfillment. These connections are the ties that bind her to the world around her, providing her with the emotional nourishment she needs to thrive. Through nurturing her relationships, she is able to walk through life with a heart full of love and a sense of belonging, knowing that the connection she builds will sustain her in times of joy and challenge alike. To every woman who walks alone without a husband, remember that you are a powerful force of nature. You are not less than, you are more than enough. You have the strength, wisdom, and love within you to create the life you desire. Walk with your head held high, for you are whole, you are loved, and you are your own greatest ally. Trust in your journey, for it is uniquely yours, and you are capable of achieving all that you dream of. May you continue to shine, always knowing that your light is enough, and that you are never truly alone.